Chris, one thing I absolutely love about our Xbox community is just the response we get back from everyone that, talks in our group. Because, like we said before, it's a great place to come, and we're talking about the Xbox sale, and we're talking about what we think of, file size for the Xbox One X. We're talking about all these great things. People were sharing their E3 photos, and it's been really, really
It's been
awesome.
great.
One thing we've been doing on our group, at least last week and this week, this is only episode 3, we do a community poll of what people want to talk about. And the winner of this week's poll was about the original Xbox games coming to Xbox One. And the reason we put that on there, the SNES Classic is, Nintendo just announced that, and we know we've seen like little Sega hand, classic things you can plug on your TV and things like that.
Hmm.
And it kind of made us think, what original Xbox games, in theory, if an Xbox Classic was coming, what original Xbox games do we want to see on there? Or if you want to say, what original Xbox games do we want to see come to the Xbox One? Because Phil Spencer said it's going to be pretty sparse library. They're not going to bring that much over. But what are some games that you really, really want to see on Xbox One? For myself, I'm going to kick it off and just say Psychonauts. I say it every time,
Mm.
but it's literally one of my favorite games of all time. I can't tell you how many times I played through it. We know Psychonauts 2 is coming. They've got Psychonauts and what's it called? The Rhombus something. The VR game.
Romulus Romper.
Right. The VR game, which is currently on PlayStation, but I'm assuming once Xbox One X gets VR, it might come over. That could be awesome. So I would love to be able to play it again because it's on PC. PlayStation 4 has it. Please, I want to play it on my TV again because it's kind of a hassle to try to get my PC onto my TV. So it would be great. I would absolutely love to get Psychonauts on my Xbox One. That would be absolutely awesome. But what's a game that you think is the epitome of you have to play this original Xbox game?
Oh wow, you put like a lot of
You
other
have to.
like that was a lot of added pressure that I wasn't expecting.
That's right.
First I will say Psychonauts is an Xbox original that was playable on Xbox 360. So
Right.
I cannot imagine a world that that game does not come out on
I sure
Xbox
hope so.
One. So I hope that it does. I would also, along with Psychonauts, which I have on my list, I would also add to the list, which I'm not going to because Phil already confirmed it, but Crimson Skies. I absolutely love Crimson Skies. That's the first game launching, so no need to add that to the list, but I cannot wait to play that. So for me, I kind of went a little more obscure with some of these, and I don't know how many you want to go at least.
Oh, we can go as many as you want, man.
So I went kind of obscure with some of them, but I'll start with the most obvious one, and that's Jade Empire.
Oh, okay.
Now, Jade Empire's a Bioware game. It actually came out the same year that the Xbox 360 came out. So
really, that was on the Xbox One the same year the Xbox 360.
It was 2005, which was
wow.
When
I didn't realize it was
the
that
360
late.
launched in November, and it came out early 2005. So here's the truth of the matter. I did not finish Jade Empire. And what ended up happening was once pre-orders went up for the Xbox 360, I took all of my Xbox stuff and into GameStop. At this point, I had just finished college. I was newly married and poor, And I was listen. What's his face came out with a hoodie on. And had the Xbox.
What's his face?
What's his face? I don't even know his name. He came out with a hoodie on, him and Elijah Wood, and they had an Xbox 360 in their backpack, and they were at Area 51 with some kind of dubstep alien music, and I was like, I have to have this console. I don't care what happens. So I took everything in. So so Jade Empire was one of those games that I really liked, but I just instantly, as soon as they were like, we're taking pre-orders on this day, I just boxed everything up, went. I didn't even think about game saves. I didn't think about anything. That all went. And so I never finished. Now, I don't have KOTOR on my list. I would assume KOTOR would come over. I'm not a huge fan of KOTOR. As big of a fan as I am of Star Wars, and I think the KOTOR story is great. I do not like that sort of combat. it's the same kind of combat as like the first Dragon Age game, but it it's very kind of like freeze time, choose your attacks. It's just that's not my kind of gameplay. I mean, I suffered through it because I wanted to be able to play it because KOTOR is an amazing game. But of the BioWare games prior to Mass Effect, Jade Empire was the one that I really loved. It was action oriented. You still picked attacks. It was a little more like Dragon Age, but it was real time, so you weren't pausing time and stuff. And it was just a really cool original story. So they had KOTOR and KOTOR 2, so this kind of set in the Star Wars universe, but this was like brand new of their own volition. So I would love to be able to go back and not only play Jade Empire, but actually beat Jade Empire. So.
Cool. And I think I'm with you on that one. Like, I enjoyed KOTOR. I actually had it on PC. Because even back then, on the original Xbox, a lot of stuff that was on the original Xbox was also on the PC. Yeah. So that's where I played a lot of my stuff, was on PC. But I agree that I'm not really into the stop and play combat. Like, you stop, you click on who you want to fight. Yeah. You click on the move you want to do, and just kind of let the animation play. Like, I agree. Now, the story is what made that game great. Yeah. It's great. Not the combat.
It's great. No, I agree.
Right. Real quick, just because I'm in a 3D platformer mood, right? Because I really enjoyed Yooka-Laylee, played through Voodoo Vince, enjoyed that. But I'm thinking, you know what? We need some more, and we got Super Lucky's Tale coming, but I've always enjoyed the cartoony 3D platformers. They should really bring back, now I know it's in the Rare collection, but one I was thinking of was Conquer the Live and Reloaded version. Yeah. Because that version is better graphics, better camera. Yep. Now, some people don't like it because they've censored some stuff, and but it also added some stuff too. It had online multiplayer and some other stuff that would be absolutely awesome. Yeah. And also, just to throw it in there to be kind of comical, because IGN always brings it up. What about Blinks, the Time Sweeper games? Right? Cat, Time Sweeper, Vacuum, good to go, right? But any of those 3D platforming games, I would absolutely love to see, because I can't get enough of those, and they're really hard to find nowadays, because unless you're playing on a Nintendo platform, you're not really going to find them. I mean, sure, PlayStation has Ratchet and Clank, but there's not much else. I mean, that's pretty much it. Now, I will say, Crash Bandicoot, it's leaked, and I'm assuming it's true. Pre-orders for Crash on Xbox One, because PlayStation never said it was exclusive. So as soon as that comes out, I'm going to be buying that trilogy on my Xbox as well. Yeah. But give me as many cartoony 3D platformers as you can. All for it.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, I mean, I'm a big fan of cartoon platformers, but that was not the thing that I played on my Xbox. So I never played Blinks. I never played that version of Conquer, even though I played the original. I never played Voodoo Vince originly. Like, I didn't play any of those.
Did you buy the Xbox One version?
I haven't yet, but it's on sale this week. So like I said, I have like 4 games. I like 4 or 5 games that are on the bubble. Yooka-Laylee and Voodoo Vince are both on the bubble. So I'm trying to debate what I want to do.
Between the two, it depends on what you want, because Yooka-Laylee is more like Banjo-Kazooie. It's very open, right? Now, I will say some of the worlds are kind of sparse. I really enjoyed it, but some of the worlds are kind of sparse. But it's that big open world explorer kind of game. Voodoo Vince is very original Xbox, PlayStation 1, where you're platforming and collecting stuff, but you're kind of like funneled through a very small area. So it depends on what you want out of it.
Yeah, I'm not sure yet, so we'll see how that goes.
Sure.
All right, so you kind of did 2. I'll do 2 back to back, because they're both big games that definitely should come. So the first one is Jet Set.
Well, technically, you actually did more, because you did Crimson Sky and you did KOTOR.
No,
but you're about to say the game on my list.
Oh, okay. Well, then I won't say that then.
No, go for it. We can both talk about it. You can say Jet Set Radio Future.
Right? Jet Set Radio Future.
Oh my gosh.
So the first Jet Set Radio.
Jet Set Radio, the original one's better.
Yeah, no, I agree. But we don't have the original. We have Future.
Well, actually, the original was on 360, and I think it's backwards compatible.
Oh, is it?
I don't know.
Okay.
I think.
Was it? Oh yeah, it was XBL. XBLA.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's
XBLA.
right. That's right.
No, I think it's backwards compatible. It might not be.
All right, but Future was great. So when I bought my Xbox, I was a little bit late to the Xbox party. Huge Nintendo fan, so I've never owned PlayStation, so that was not my thing. But I was a huge Nintendo fan, so I jumped into GameCube year 1, and so I think I was like maybe year 2, maybe even year 3 before I jumped into the Xbox ecosystem. But I picked it up when it came with a dual pack-in game, which was Sega GT Racing, and then Jet Set Radio Future, and so so I bought it with those 2 games, Jet Set Radio. Here's the thing about it: all of these games that we're talking about, I would argue that we probably have a special place in our heart for.
Right.
They've all been overtaken by something else.
Sure.
I mean, when you play Mass Effect 2, Jade Empire is just never going to feel the same. And when you play Sunset Overdrive, Jet Set Radio Future is never going to feel the same. But like that soundtrack and just the painting, the tagging mechanic, like that's such a great game, man. I love Jet Set Radio.
It's fantastic. And but the funny thing is, I never owned an original Xbox. I had a neighbor that had one. I always go over to his house and play it. But it kind of made me mad because I was like you. I had a GameCube, right? I had a GameCube, eventually got a PS2, never got the original Xbox. But I was kind of mad because all my favorite games from Dreamcast era, so Jet Set Radio and Crazy Taxi, were both exclusive to the original. The sequels were exclusive to the original Xbox. And I was like, why? And I was so frustrated because, being a kid, I didn't have that much money. I had my first job or whatever and saved up and got what I could, but I couldn't own 3 systems,
Did you say you did have a Dreamcast?
Yep, I had a Dreamcast.
Yeah. So I had a Dreamcast.
Loved my Dreamcast.
I love the Dreamcast. I imported a translucent blue case from Japan. And that was at that time in my life probably the most stressful thing I'd ever done in my life. Because the Dreamcast was the first console that I bought by myself. It was after I had a job, and so it was the first console that I saved up money for and I paid money for, and I had it for about a year, and I saw somebody, I don't know, online or something that had like this really cool case, and I'm like, oh, so I researched it and I ordered it. It was like $50 for importing it from Japan, and it was just blue plastic, but you had to literally unscrew and take the guts out of the Dreamcast and put them into this shell, and I was scared to death, but it worked, dude. And so I had this neon blue. Again, I was poor, so when it came time to upgrade to the GameCube, I had to trade it in, and that was one of the big mistakes in my life. I wish I would still have my Dreamcast.
Yeah, for mine, I think it's when I moved to college or something. I gave it to my brother, said he could have it, and then come home and it's gone. So it's like, because he's not a big gamer, so I think because I told him it was his, and honestly it was, I gave it to him because he was playing NBA 2K or whatever version was out that year. He played it all the time, so like, you can have it. But eventually, it was, I gave it to him, so he eventually sold it. And I'm like, oh man, because that means I've missed out on, Grind Radio and all those great games. But okay, one more game I think we could talk about a piece. One more I'll bring up.
Wait, one more? No, we have to. I have 3 more.
Okay, you can hit all. But how about I just hit one big ball here? I'm just gonna say the Burnout games, because the Burnout games started in that generation, and there were a lot. Was there 3 or 4, I think, on Xbox?
I think they were just the first 3.
Okay, but I mean, like, they had the best crash modes and everything were on there. Like, I love Burnout Paradise, but if you want a good crash mode, you got to go back to those older Burnout games. You can only get those there. Yeah. And is Criterion still a company?
Yeah.
Okay, because I know they're not making Burnout games.
Well,
anymore.
they're making Need for Speed. They make Need for Speed.
That's right.
Now. Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which by the way, that new Need for Speed game, it looks pretty dang.
Fast Furious.
Yeah, it does look pretty good. We'll see. It looks
okay, man. What else you got?
Okay, I'll go through these really fast. Like I said, I wanted to pick some obscure ones, so I'll hit the obscure ones fast. First off, the last good baseball game made that wasn't the show was on Xbox. It's MVP Baseball, made by EA. MVP 2005. And I love baseball, my favorite sport. And again, I wasn't a PlayStation. I don't think they had the show back then, anyways. But
No,
but at that point, it kind of became World Series baseball. And then EA made, only for like a couple of years, they made MVP Baseball. And MVP Baseball was such an amazing baseball game. It is still to this day my favorite baseball game. So, and again, I don't play the show, so keep that into consideration. I'm sure that the show, like this year's the show, is probably so much better than MVP. But as of my game time, that's my baseball game.
Right.
So I would love to be
For
able to
me,
play
though, favorite baseball game, the Mario baseball games.
No, shut
so
your
good.
mouth. Now, I don't think they could bring any of that just because of player rights and everything. So I don't think it's possible. Right. But I would love to play that again. Another one. So did you ever play Simpsons Hit and Run?
Yes. I played on GameCube, I believe.
Yeah, it was on GameCube too. So Simpsons Hit and Run was basically cartoon GTA. Starring the Simpsons, but I was a huge Simpsons fan growing up, and whenever I packed my bag to come to college, like what I had was X-Men 1 and X2 on DVD, and then I had like the first 5 seasons of The Simpsons on DVD, and those were my DVDs that I brought with me to college, and I love Simpsons. So this was like an open world Simpsons game, and you could go over to Flanders' house, and and you can go to Quickie Mart, and I mean, like it was Springfield, like it was so cool. So that was a lot of fun. I would love to be able to run through that little town and just jump in cars and eat donuts and that again. But I'll end with probably my favorite non first party Xbox original game, and that is Republic Commando. So Star Wars Republic Commando was a first-person shooter, and you played in the Clone Wars as clone troopers, and it was just great. Like the prequels were such a huge letdown to Star Wars fans, like just total garbage. But like what they kind of tried to do was good. Like the whole idea of the Clone War and the whole idea that they were, of the political landscape of the time was a cool idea. It was executed very poorly, but it was the first time that you ever kind of got to feel like you were, a soldier. In the original trilogy, the Imperials were the soldiers, and you were just like Luke and his ragtag crew. He never had like any sort of soldiers or anything to go with them. So now you're in the prequels, and you actually have good guy soldiers, that are stormtroopers but fighting on your side. And it was super cool. Like it had a little Halo-esque feel to it, and you were running around and shooting stuff and throwing grenades, and it was so cool. So I would love to be able to play Republic Commando again.
That would be awesome, because licensed games are always tricky, because it's either going to be really great or really horrible.
Yeah,
but
that's true.
there are a handful of really great ones, and normally really great ones are in fact Star Wars games, because like we talked about KOTOR before, and we talked about the game you were talking about, and like we talked about N64. Brain always brings up Shadows of the Empire. Like there are really good Star Wars games.
All the Rogue Leader games.
Yep, all the Rogue Leader games are so good.
Or the Rogue Squadron games.
Rogue
N64,
Squadron.
And then 2 on the GameCube. Absolutely.
So good. Awesome. So guys, we want to know, what games do you think, original Xbox games, should come to Xbox One? Now, there are over, according to Wikipedia, I just looked up, there are 1,045
so what you're saying
original Xbox games.
What you're saying is
now,
we missed a few of them, right?
If you could cut it down into like top 10, what games do you want to see or hope to see come to the Xbox One? Now, some of them already got remastered, like Voodoo Vince and Phantom Dust, but there's a lot more that are still coming, which is great. Let us know if you're watching the YouTube video. Let us know down in the comments, or if you're live chat, let us know over there. And you can also hit us up on our Facebook group. Just look up the Xbox Dive community group, or you can hit us up on Twitter at the Xbox Dive.